Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. WWE TLC is this coming Sunday live on pay-per-view. NoDQ.com is your source for everything related to TLC, news, rumors, and of course, live results coverage on Sunday. With that being said, let's get down to your questions via spring.me/AaronRift. First one today comes from Triple HBK. Hey Aaron, what's next for Del Rio after 2 straight losses to Sin Cara? Well, I think the Attitude Era is coming back. No, just kidding. Regarding Del Rio, obviously he's going to be on the sidelines for a little bit. He was diagnosed with a concussion from the power bomb that Sin Cara delivered to him on Raw. When he comes back, I hope he comes back with Ricardo. I think that he really needs Ricardo. I've talked about this before in other videos. Ricardo is a big part of the act. And I think Del Rio's just been another guy on the roster ever since he lost the world title. So he really needs something big when he comes back, and you could reunite him with Ricardo and give him a renewed push. And I would go back to his old music too. I don't know why he has that music still if he's a heel. I liked the old music better. I think he should go back to that old music and maybe just repackage him a little bit. Maybe do some video promos hyping him up. Give him a break until the new year. Definitely don't have him run over Santa Claus again. That would be the worst thing you could do. But yeah, give him a fresh start in 2014 with Ricardo back by his side as a heel. And, I think he'll be okay. This one comes from Chained Raven. With it almost WrestleMania time and with the current storyline, where do you see The Undertaker in this picture? Will he side with the Authority or will he go against them? Well, I don't see the point in having Undertaker involved in a major storyline if he's only going to be around for 1 or 2 matches. I think that you want to focus on his WrestleMania match. And let's say, for example, if he's facing Brock Lesnar, you keep the focal point on that. And I'm sure Paul Heyman will be back to do the promos for Brock Lesnar. And there's no need to have Undertaker in any kind of side storyline. If he's going to be around after WrestleMania and they have a storyline for him, then by all means you could have him involved with the Authority. But I think it would be best to not even bring up the possibility of interaction between Undertaker and the Authority. I think you're best off just focusing on Undertaker and the streak at WrestleMania. All right, this one comes from the Rhino92. Hey Aaron, long-time viewer, first-time asker. After TLC, if there is only one world champion, what changes do you see being made to pay-per-views like the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and Money in the Bank? Well, I think the obvious change is that you just have one match, one Royal Rumble match to determine who faces the unified champion at WrestleMania. You have one Elimination Chamber match with the championship on the line in the match, not for a title shot. I like the idea of the title being defended in the chamber match. And then, of course, Money in the Bank, the winner can cash it in for the one title at any time. So, that's the obvious way to go. And I think that's for the best, too. I was never a huge fan of doing 2 Elimination Chamber matches on the same pay-per-view and 2 Money in the Bank matches. I mean, it did make the pay-per-view better in the sense you got 2 good matches instead of 1, but still, I think that it does end up being overkill, and I would rather just have 1 really good Elimination Chamber match and 1 really good Money in the Bank match. All right, this one comes from Brandon Couch 3. Hey Aaron, it's been confirmed that WrestleMania 31 has been set for Santa Clara. Are you going to make the trip to what Vince said will be the most interactive WrestleMania ever? Absolutely. I said a long time ago that if WrestleMania is in California, I would be there. So I'm already starting to make the plans. I'll be doing everything there. Not the access, but I'll be at the Hall of Fame, WrestleMania, and Raw the next night for sure. So I'm really looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun, and I know people come in from all over the place. So definitely going to plan some no DQ events. We'll have some dinners and get-togethers, and maybe even a tailgate party. I don't know, for any of you that go to the WrestleMania events, do they do tailgate parties at the stadium? I don't even know, but it would be cool to do something like that, just a big group of people for a tailgate before WrestleMania 31. It's all in the early stages, but definitely as the date draws closer, I'll be talking more about it, so stay tuned for that. but definitely there'll be some stuff planned for that weekend. All right, this one comes from Nature and Chaos 2. How would you compare a televised WWE match to one from a house show or live event? Well, for me personally, I don't recommend going to a house show because it's basically just the guys going through the motions and basically practicing. Sometimes they rehearse spots they're going to do for a pay-per-view match. So there's not really much to a live event, and they're not going to take any kind of chances when it's not televised. So the matches are very standard, and sometimes they do go longer because it's a house show. So in that sense, you might get a better match than say a quick 3-minute, 5-minute match on television. But the house shows I've been to, I mean, honestly, I end up bored watching them, and I think that, with the televised WWE match, you get more of the storylines and all that. So, I mean, it is sometimes just a matter of taste, but definitely the house show matches are safer and more straightforward. And with the TV matches, you have more of the storylines and, all the bells and whistles and whatnot. All right, that'll do it for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thank you for checking out the video today. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. YouTube.com/NoDQCAW. Share this video on Facebook and Twitter. And as I mentioned at the start, check out NoDQ.com for TLC coverage. Before I go, though, I'm going to get to one more question here. And this question, actually, I got 2 questions here. These questions will contain spoilers, so if you do not want to be spoiled, turn off the video right now. And it's TNA spoilers, by the way, so you might not care one way or another. But anyways, here we go. This comes from Bubba Cam. So with AJ Styles apparently done with TNA now, do you see him going to WWE? Plus, if he did, do you see him keeping his name as the Phenomenal One AJ Styles? A lot of people are speculating now about AJ Styles going to WWE. His contract, his extension is up, and the spoiler now, at the Genesis taping, yes, TNA already taped Genesis for January. It's not going to be an actual pay-per-view, but rather a Spike TV special. AJ Styles defended his title against Magnus, and Magnus won the unification match and is now the unified TNA champion. And after the match, AJ Styles said his goodbye. So it sure looks like he's done with TNA, and basically the deal is that TNA wanted to keep him, but they wanted to give him a significant pay cut, and AJ Styles feels that he can make a good living on the indie scene, and he didn't take the deal. So at this point, he appears to be done with TNA. Now, your question here is, will WWE pick him up? I'm very much torn as to what WWE is going to do here. I mean, they could sign him and bring him in, but first of all, I don't know if he's going to be able to keep the name or not, because as we all know, WWE doesn't like to have more than one person with the same name, and they already have AJ Lee, so one would think they would probably make him change his name. I don't know if he would be Alan Styles or Styles Allen or some stupid name, but yeah, I could very well see them changing his name. And that's if they sign him in the first place. And I got another question here from Kid Raf543. Hey Aaron, with the news that AJ Styles is set to leave TNA, do you see him coming to WWE perhaps as a surprise entrant to the Royal Rumble? That's the other thing too. I don't know if they're going to bring him in right from the get-go and push him. I think that if they were to sign him, they would probably want him to go into the developmental program and learn how to work the WWE style before they bring him to the main roster. And I don't know if that's something he wants to do, and I'm sure WWE wouldn't want to offer him the money that he would feel he's worth. So it's very much a big question mark at this point if AJ Styles ends up in WWE. And, it's not like WCW, like signing DDP or something, a guy who's already well-established and popular on a mainstream level. I mean, AJ Styles was a big star in TNA, but it's TNA. And, I don't think WWE is going to invest that much in a TNA star, even if he was one of the biggest stars in the history of TNA. So it's all very much up in the air right now, and for all we know, he could end up back in TNA. But I mean, if I was WWE, I would sign him. I would definitely bring him in, and I would just bring him in as himself and have him in the Royal Rumble. But I would be surprised if they did that. I don't think that's going to happen. But we'll see. Stranger things have happened in the past. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time for another edition of No DQ&A video.